Yo, so today I'm going to tell y'all about how having sex with 13 women, it's 13 women within 24 hours prepared me for e-commerce success. And look at this amazing food. So you know how it is when you start doing good, you want to eat good, you want to take care of yourself. And obviously you can't have sex with that many women within 24 hours when you're eating trash. All right, so let's jump right into it. Oh, by the way, my name is Tyron Spear, and I had the good folks over at Next Level Ambitions send me this amazing t-shirt. These guys are e-commerce coaches, and they're phenomenal at what it is that they do, from teaching you about funnels to running traffic and all of that good stuff that'll help grow and scale your business. And one of the brothers up over there has helped the company grow to about $30 million. And we also have a sister up over there that's helped companies, actually about $100 million at this point, and a sister that's helped companies do tens of millions of dollars with their private label e-commerce businesses as well. So let's get into it. So I was in a small country called Ashgabat, Turkmenistan, and I won't have you say that 3 times fast. So I was in a place called Ashgabat, Turkmenistan, and so basically I opened the door and I walk into an orgy, and this is what started off the whole 24-hour event. So it wasn't a typical orgy where you got all of these guys and girls in there having sex. There was actually just one guy. His name is Charles, and there was one guy and eight women. And basically four of the women was already sitting on the couch, and the other 4 women were already in the bedroom with Charles. Now, again, I just told you I was in a country that you probably never heard of before. If you have, shout out to all my folks from Turkmenistan, my Turkmen folks. So shout out to my Turkmen folks, and not Turkish. I've been to Turkey too, but these are people from Turkmenistan, so Turkmens. So shout out to my Turkmens. And so it's 13 women, not 13 women. I'm sorry. So there's 8 women inside this room. So there's 4 women inside the bedroom and 4 women sitting inside the couch when I walk in, and Charles is in the back room laying pipe. So Charles takes a break, meets me inside the kitchen, and he's like, yeah, so these 4 women, are for you, go and introduce yourself, yada, yada, yada. And I'm taking care of 4 inside the other room. So a learning point here. If I wasn't connected to Charles, this situation probably would have never happened. And it's the same way inside business. You need to make sure that you're connected to the right people who are in the know, who are actively and actually doing what it is that they're telling you that they're going to actually help you do. So even though I never said that I wanted help with an orgy, here's Charles was, living in abundance, obviously, and invited me over, and then boom, there it is. I have 4 women who I can enjoy here in the next few minutes. So boom. So Charles is over in the room doing this thing. I'm in another room doing my thing. And basically there's almost like a rotation thing happening. Not cross between the 4 that he had and the 4 that I had, but really just the 4 that I was dealing with. So I was pretty much just knocking down, pretty much one at a time. And it was almost like a I hate to sound so, women are probably shrieking because I sound so mechanical, but I was enjoying the pleasures of each woman one by one. Now, first question that brothers ask when I tell this story is, yo, did you come all 13 times? No, I didn't come all 13 times. And there's a note, there's a lesson in that as well, but moving right along. So anyway, so that was the first 4. So then from there, now this, I know you guys don't know me. You guys just now listen to this, but in this time, during this time in my life, one of my past lives, during this time, I probably had on my own. I had like a small harem, is probably what you could say, right? And I was actually being very conservative while I was in this part of the world. So I probably had 10 women already. So these were 4 women that, that I hadn't had contact with. And for all of my people that are like, I guess I would say hypersensitive or whatever, that's probably hypercritical. For my hypercritical people, at this point in time in my life, I'm living in a world where I have a top secret security clearance. Everybody that I deal with is being screened in some form or fashion, and not just sexually screened for sexually transmitted diseases and all of that, but screened in other ways as well. So I'm not, during this time in my life, I wasn't your regular guy. So yeah, you wasn't just laying in bed with me. So anyway, these 4 women. So we sorry ladies. So I run through these 4 women, and then after that I go to work. So I had to work. So I was actually protecting the building, and so I'm working at this building, protecting this building for about 8 hours. I leave there, and I'm not sure what the time frame is at this point, but I leave there, and I believe we're rolling over into the morning, I think, at this point. So so I leave there, I leave work, I believe I go home, we run, because I think I was in charge of PT to this day, that's physical fitness. So I was in charge of physical fitness, so we leave there, then boom, I run, I think we probably ran maybe like 4 or 5 miles or something, because we're like running down Turkmenbashi Street. Again, I'm in Turkmenistan. So we're running down Turkmenbashi Street, and there's like all of these beautiful buildings that's been, you guys can Google it, and beautiful buildings, beautiful architecture that's been built on Turkmenbashi Street. And so there's something to be said there again. This is, as you hear me go through this story, and again, I only have 10, I got down to about 3 minutes. So 10-minute talks with Ty. So as endurance is what's needed, right? So endurance is what's needed. And in e-commerce, you're also going to need endurance as well, right? So because you don't know everything and you need to be prepared. So I didn't know that I was going to be having sex with 13 women within 24 hours. This thing just kind of sort of happened, quote unquote, right? So, because this was kind of sort of the lifestyle that we were living while we were over there. And the guy that I just mentioned earlier, who had the 8 women there, now whether he had sex with those other 4 women, I don't know. But I know I had sex with my 4, and then I would have left because I had to go to work. But what was I getting ready to say? So endurance is needed, because I didn't know that I was going to be having sex with 13 women, but I had to be prepared to have sex with all these women, whether or not I knew it was going to happen or not. And e-commerce is pretty much the same thing. And selling products online is pretty much, or doing anything online is pretty much the same thing. You never know how the algorithm is going to change, whether something's going to happen with the supplier, where you're getting your products from. Like, anything can happen, and there's certain things that you just don't know because you're focused on this one thing. In e-commerce, learning e-commerce and doing e-commerce, even after you've done it, even after you made $1 million, it's still pretty massive. Down to 2 minutes. Actually, down to 1.5 minutes. So, preparing myself. So again, I go and I run these 5 miles. I eat a hearty breakfast that morning, and I believe during that time, probably like brunch time, I believe I wound up calling somebody up that I knew. So then that became person number 5. So then later on that evening, we're now getting ready to go out. So we would all go out with like this whole pack mentality, right? So I go out later that evening. Maybe somebody else is squeezed in there as well. So that probably bumped me up to where I'm at, like 6 now. So from there we get ready to go out. And the reason why I'm slow I keep saying we get ready to go out is because we go out and we kind of sort of had this pack mentality. So we go out, and it's probably maybe 4 or 5 of us. We go out, we get to this club. I can't think of the name of the club right now, but we get to this club. There's a club across the street called Club Florida. So I forgot what the other club is called. So anyway, we get to the club, and I had this chick that I talk about in the next video ask me if she could call me the N-word because she thought I actually looked like 50 Cent. So I was a lot more muscular at the time. And so I wind up knocking that down and her friend, and boom, I'm at 10 minutes. So I'm going to continue this conversation with y'all in the next video. All right, peace.